Welcome back. We're here with Arthur Higgins and wanted to discuss with him on this last segment some of the things that are really near and dear to his heart, like the fine arts and remote-controlled airplanes. So let's talk about that. I mean, you've been able to be a successful artist and make a living at it successfully, which has also afforded you to have time to focus on what your true passion is, which is the fine arts. And what's the difference?
Well, I define fine art as uncompromised. That is, no thought is given to getting it into a show, getting it into a gallery, selling it, my mommy liking it. Nothing is important except the art itself, the content of the art. My art is about communicating with others these ideas that I have about nature, the presence of nature. And everything in that painting is designed to get that idea across. Too many times today, paintings are designed to sell or to please or to entertain or provide a backdrop like you have here. Mm-hmm. Mine is strictly for communicating these ideas that I have about nature.
So it really is, I guess, it's solely about you. It's how it makes you feel as an artist. Is that right?
It's about communicating what I feel. And what I think I'm communicating is what other people already feel but don't know they feel it.
Oh, that's interesting.
I think, first of all, my work is not made up. It's not fantasy. It's not surrealism. It's not invented. It's not science fiction. It comes right out of life. Mm-hmm. I will take a subject that I've found through just walking through the woods or wherever it is I am. I'm a really big fan of rocks, by the way. I make sketches of these things, and when I make sketches, I don't think about art at all. I just make a sketch of what I see, and they're usually uncomfortable, so the sketch lasts 15 minutes or so. Then when I get back to the studio, I look at that and I say, now why did I sketch that? What was important to me? And I can only select one thing out of that sketch, otherwise it'll be confusing. And then I manipulate that painting, that idea, into getting across the point. And by manipulation, I mean I'll make a composition that'll get the point across, or maybe I'll change the color. I often take local color out. In other words, instead of a blue sky, I'll make it red, or a green tree, I'll make it purple, in order to separate the recognition. And when you do that, it makes it an object, because the idea of my work is to convey the feelings that I have about these things, and I'm convinced that other people feel the same thing. Grimm's fairy tales, for example, are centered around forests that have these very dark feelings about them. You read in novels and about forests having evil things. I think there's some popular movies about forests having bad places.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone senses this. Now, I don't think it's bad. I think it's very benign. I think it's wonderful inside a forest. And I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm just saying that the relationship between this rock and that tree has a presence about it, and I'm doing my paintings to convey that to the viewer, and hopefully the viewer will see that as a new way of seeing things, and it'll enrich their life. That's the whole idea.
Yeah. Now, for your fine art, is it exclusively paintings, or do you do other medias?
No, actually, and I've heard this from others too, I think my strongest work in fine art is my sculptures.
Really? I
see 3 dimensions pretty much, and my paintings often have a very deep sense of space, and deep space. But I really like to work with my sculptures because I get to work with all kinds of medium. I'll use fabric and wood and metal and combine all that. But the idea, again, being uncompromised, is to convey the idea of what this relationship, this magic, this mystery about nature is there. So I, in fact, sign my fine art with the word Veritas on top of my signature, and then my name. And Veritas, Latin for truth, because it's not made up. I really emphasize that, because when you look at my paintings right away, you say, this is not only very weird, but it's all fake. No, it's not. And if you think about it, it's really not. And I put the word Veritas above my signature so that if somebody wants to get rid of that, they'll have to take my signature off. It's kind of a mean thing to do, but that's why I've done that. I don't sign anything else.
Okay.
My kinetic sculptures, my mechanical sculptures.
Really? So there's no signature anywhere on those?
No.
Interesting.
I've got to remain true to the fine art. And if I signed it all, I think it would, dilute it.
Okay. Well, then now, how did RC, or remote-controlled airplanes, come along? Or was that something you've always been interested in? Tell me about this.
I guess I'm a multitasker. I mean, because when I was a kid, I liked to look at bugs and collect bugs and to do drawings and to build model airplanes. I'm 68 years old.
Okay.
That puts me born in 1942, before television.
Right.
And in those days, we had to have things to do. And my father was a dentist, and he worked with his hands and encouraged me to do that. So I had in his shop a little place, and I had tools, and my brother also had tools, and we would make things. It didn't matter what it was, and model airplanes was one of those things that I built. And I think it's the combination of making things with my hands and, of course, seeing things fly. It could be said that the movement of these airplanes in space is the same thing I'm looking for in my kinetic sculptures. The curvilinear movement of space, of shapes in space. Because my sculptures are curvilinear. There are very few straight lines. I don't like straight lines in my work. And the line curves, the eye follows that curve, and the same thing with smooth model airplane flying.
Okay.
And I don't know, I can't explain it other than that.
Well, I can see the correlation there. Yeah, when you see them, I'll go down by the river sometimes in Hood River there, and they'll down at the marina area, or I guess it's actually the event site, and they'll be taking off and landing them down there and stuff. They're great to watch, and there's just really almost an elegance about the way that they float and fly, and so. And how long have you been doing that?
58 years.
58 years.
Yeah. I started when I was 10, 1952.
Well, good deal. Well, best of luck with that, Arthur. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah. Well, you guys, thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next time. So have a great day. John Compton here saying thanks again for watching. And remember, if you've got a guest idea, let us know. Just visit localite.com.